Super Bowl winning head coach with the Baltimore Ravens, currently an analyst for Fox and the NFL Network, have been in coaching for close to 40 years, and I want to talk to you about the Awareness is Power process and Pat Bender. I can tell you not only as a head football coach in the National Football League, but currently in my role as a broadcaster and analyst for the Fox Sports Network and the NFL Network, that to use the Awareness is Power process has been invaluable to me. And here's why. It begins with the process of the reports and the interaction with them that allowed me to access for my assistant coaches, finding that right profile for them to interact with one another. It's a matter of evaluating what their strengths are, what they bring to the table, as we used to say, and more importantly, for them to interact with one another, to recognize what those strengths are, to match up their personality traits with the jobs that they're being asked to do, and more importantly, how they're asked to interact with one another. I found it an invaluable tool to connect them in that capacity as professionals, as a coach, as a teacher, as a leader. Because at the end of the day, I will tell you, after 40 years in this profession, after 20 years in the National Football League, as a Super Bowl winning head coach, you learn that people don't follow you because of what you say. They follow you because of why you say it. And tapping into that emotion, tapping into that interaction is going to be the key for any team, not only with my coaches, but with my players. Today in the National Football League, it is all about interaction. Everybody is talented. Everybody has a good organization. Everybody has a good process. But as a head coach of the National Football League today, your number one job is to bring together the best people you possibly can, provide the best structure that you can, and then spend every waking minute pushing your workforce towards the leadership of your coaches and making sure that they indeed are interacting in the way that is successful. And that is an everyday, almost minute-by-minute process that demands that you understand what they're about, that they understand what they're about, and pushing those two processes together. And the Awareness is Power process I have found is absolutely invaluable in doing just that. Because in order to optimize what your organization is going to do, it is about the people. In this flattened world that we now exist, where nothing's proprietary anymore, all the information is out there for the world to see because of the avalanche of information via the digital world and the internet, that indeed via the social media that now you have to interact with almost on a daily basis in making sure, because that's not going to be the difference for your organization and the success of your organization. It's, do your people do they understand the mission statement? Do they buy into it? Because at the end of the day, and it's been found time and time again, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. And that is so important that you tap into that why, because as I said earlier, as a leader, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And the Awareness is Power process helps you to interact with your workforce so that they know that you care, that they know why you are doing this, and more importantly, they know why they are doing this. And it's an invaluable process to accomplish just that. For me, there were two parts of the process in working with Pat Bender in the Awareness is Power process. Obviously, there were the reports themselves that I found invaluable in terms of connecting, particularly with my coaching staff, the different strengths of my leaders in terms of what they were bringing to the table, what they could offer to our workforce, our players, and more importantly, how they were going to interact with one another. That was really the key to any success that we had. That was the first part of the process. The second part, I really enjoyed working with Pat Bender as we have done some seminars, sharing this process with different organizations and showing that this is not a cookie cutter approach. Each is tailor-made for the specifics of your organization. I dealt with teams from, at one point I had the youngest team in the history of the National Football League with close to 20 rookies, to one of the older teams that won a Super Bowl with veterans like Rob Woodson and Shannon Sharp and Trent Dilfer. I deal with 20-year-old rookies to the 35-year-old veteran that's got 4 kids and 3 car dealerships. They have different priorities. They have different perspectives about where they are in the profession. And bringing these people together is so invaluable. And you find that very readily when you visit with Pat and you go through the awareness is power process because you recognized in today's business world, it has to be tailored to the individual, and that's exactly what it does. The thing I enjoyed about the seminar that we did with Pat and the awareness is power process is it begins obviously with recognizing all the different components of what that process is. It's energizing, it's very unique, it's very personal, it's an enjoyable morning in terms of recognizing what this process is and what you're looking for. My part of it in the afternoon was then to tie in the practical application of exactly what it meant to us with the Baltimore Ravens in a professional environment to see that there is a very real practical application to this. I do a great deal of corporate speaking, and I know many times when I stand in front of large groups of professionals who have people come and stand in front of them all the time, espousing one concept or the next. Many times you look at it and you wonder as a speaker that, you know what, is what I'm saying just common sense? Is this really going to resonate to them? But what I've come to find out is what's common sense isn't always common practice. And there is a connectivity there. And if you can find a process, and this is exactly what the awareness is power process is, it's energizing, it's unique, and more importantly, you're going to see the connecting points, something that you as a leader have been trying to do probably for a good long time, but you're looking for that mechanism that says, how do I get my people to connect in this way? How do I get them to understand the importance of how they need to react to or interact with one another? And then how this is going to filter down into our workforce. I've been pounding away as a leader time after time, but to do this in an energetic, learning fashion, as is particularly the seminars with the Awareness is Power group, that you find that hook to say, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I've been trying to find where I can connect our message, our mission statement to filter it down to our workforce, but do it on an individual basis that they can recognize this isn't a one-size-fits-all process, and this is tailored specifically for me and my group.